Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another round of Ultimate Racing League's Manufacturers Trophy season. I am your host, Panic at the Tesco, and I am going to be introducing you to all of Saturday night's action from two races, starting off with the Group 4 race. And we are going to make our way down to the grid to reveal our contenders in reverse order, starting at the back. So, cue the grid walk music and let's introduce our competitors. A newly renamed The Saint brings up the rear of the grid. He is now known as IQCW4, and I don't know what that is short for. I'm sure it's short for something. We'll have to find out as the season goes on. He is back in his Porsche, looking slightly overhauled here with this Oracle livery, nice art car livery on the car. He'll be starting at the back on the soft tyres, hoping to use those to good effect to make his way through the pack. Moving up one spot, we have Hoyland, who has also changed his livery. Lots of changes. It's very hard being a commentator because everyone's name and car changes every week. But I'm not complaining. We have this Looney Tunes Lexus RCF in the second to last place, bringing up the back row of the grid from Hoyland on the medium tyres. So he's maybe looking for the long game ahead. Another Lexus, and this time the Lexus of Carlsberg, proudly sponsored by Tesco. Not myself, I haven't sponsored that car, but I do like the choice of sponsors. Carlsberg will be starting on the soft tyres and also hoping to make his way through. And then we finally have a familiar face, familiar livery, with the other Saint, who is now the only Saint. Saint will be taking his Porsche on the medium tyres, and can't help but notice the gangster rims on that car. I think he might have increased the size of those, don't you? Oh, let's see if it brings him any performance in the race. At least he will look good at doing so. And then we bring up a returning favourite from the first race. We've got Frank in the Privateer Nissan GTR. He will be starting on the medium tyres. Then also on the medium tyres, quite a few in the midfield starting on the mediums here. We have Hawkeye with the stunning Makita Drills livery on his Volkswagen. I always call it a Golf, don't I? It's not a Golf, it's the other one, Scirocco, isn't it? I don't know. It's a Volkswagen, that's what I do know. Yes, I don't think he's got much rubber on those tyres either. So I'm starting to see a trend here. Maybe I'm not down with the kids. Moving up to another newcomer making his debut in this series is Fazzy. In his Crown Plaza sponsored Corvette, and I particularly like where he's stuck his logo, his car number here. There's no rules on where you put your car number, and Fazzy knows how to exploit that to maximum effect. Here in car number 23 is Fazzy. Everyone give him a warm welcome and a round of applause. He'll be starting on the mediums. Now, as we work our way up to the sharp end of the grid, bringing up the second row, the front of the second row, alongside Fazzy is G Smith, and I don't know what the G stands for. I will find out for next race. Maybe it's an exclamation. It's G Smith. But Mr. Smith doing his best for Scottish pride here. This is a really cool livery, actually, and you can tell that it's a Scotland tribute from a long way away. What's this thing down here say? BWO, I don't know what that means. Maybe it's just the noise he makes as he's making his way through the field, a whoa sort of noise. Anyway, Mr. Smith will be starting on the soft tyres, as I expect our front two will be as well. Our host, our glorious host with the most, it is Rufus, having a very good qualifying, bringing up second place in his Porsche Cayman S. Some sensible sized tyres on this one, must say, and he is also starting on the softs. And then It wouldn't be a trophy grid without Itsumi Dan taking up his regular place now on pole position. I think he's had all of the poles, so he's adding yet another one to his collection and just showing what an established racer he is. But he's now got to do this 14 times in a row in order to win the race, and to help him do that, we'll be starting on the softs. Right, I'm going to go to our starting position and we are going to get underway as Itsumi Dan leads us down to the start line. It is yo ho ho and away we go, and everyone off to a fairly equal start. These cars all being fairly equally matched. A bit of sun glare coming off the cars there. They've all been polished up for this race, and Itsumi Dan under no huge pressure, but Mr. Smith having a good look at Rufus here, with Fazzy following him through, and it looks like Fazzy's managed to get himself alongside. It's Corvette versus Corvette as we go up to Larini corner. By the way, I've named the corners myself on this 5-kilometre track because I can. It is a fictional track, it doesn't exist, so that means I get to pick the names. Haha! I don't have to learn any French this week, thank God. As they've all made it through the first sector reasonably cleanly, we can see Fazzy having a good go at Smith here. This is a battle that we'll probably stick with, but let's just watch as the cars come into view and see if anyone else is fighting up and down the grid. They're all fairly equally spaced, but Mr. Smith might be fancying his go at Rufus as we go down into the bottom of the circuit, down into Dragon's Tooth we go. And just thinking wiser of it, just tucking in behind Rufus there. We will be coming up to the highlight of this track in a minute, which is the famous Death Chicane. But first of all, we have got Carlsberg getting it all out of shape there. I'm not sure how one does that through that corner. Oh, and I just saw another car getting really out of shape there. It's the Saint. He's managed to avoid the barriers somehow. No damage on that car. No idea. He survived. He cheated death in the Death Chicane, but we have got everyone through cleanly. So everyone give yourself a massive round of applause, because this is the first lap at Dragon Trail usually ends in tears for someone, and it hasn't really, other than Saint, who had a bit of a brush, but I'm sure he will wipe it off. He will laugh and just keep on going. We have got Rufus has been overtaken by Smith. I missed that, so let's go back and see if we can catch where he got past. And it was actually on the run out. Oh, and Rufus did actually tag the barrier. He did actually have a big old slice of Death Chicken there. And that's what's done it. He's just slowed down the straight. I didn't mean to pause it then. I was just getting too excited. And Smith just retakes the racing line, manages to get it neat and tidy. He's now got second place. He can go after Itsumi Dan and try and wipe the smile off Itsumi Dan's face. He must be smiling quite a lot because he's got quite a big lead. So Itsumi Dan will just be settling down now, trying to moderate his pace. You can see a car off into the pits in the background. It is Hoyland who's got a drive-through penalty from the last race. So he is unfortunately going to drop right down the order because of that. The only drive-through you really want to be having is a McDonald's, really. But unfortunately he's got to take a drive-through penalty. And Smith now under a little bit of pressure from Rufus. Not enough to be looking in your mirrors though. In fact, it looks like Fazzy is a bit closer to Rufus than Rufus is to Smith. He's, well, we've had different kinds of sandwiches, haven't we? Oh, hang on, I'll talk about sandwiches in a minute. We've got Carlsberg on Hawkeye. Oh, is he going to get him? He's going to try and go around the outside into the S's. No silly name for this corner, it's just the S's. And he's managed to go around the outside of the S's. He's going to compromise him on the exit. It just brings it in neat and tidy, holds on to it. Hawkeye will be looking to try and get a cut back and a run down onto the Dragon's Tooth corner down in the bottom. But no, he's got the job done. Anyway, as I was saying, it was looking like Rufus was going to be the filling in a Corvette sandwich. We've had Italian sandwiches and German sandwiches in previous weeks, and this time it's an American one. Let's go on board with Fazzy, see what he's like. Oh, yeah, just a little bit of a lift and a little bit of a scrape as well. And we just see in front actually that Smith has got passed by Rufus. I think maybe, yes, Smith has got damage. So lots of people chipping away at the paint, and that corner is going to be a good 6 inches wider by the end of the night, trust me, with the number of cars that are scraping it. We haven't seen anyone headbutt the barriers yet, so there's still a prize for the first person to do that. But so far, we've just seen people scraping it, which is the better of the two outcomes. Let's be honest. Carlsberg is still fighting against Hawkeye here. Hawkeye just keeping her in sight. Sorry we haven't featured it much, but we've got a battle on here between Frank and ICQW4, and ICQ holding on. Oh, sorry, I've got that wrong already. IQC. I will get it the right way around. IQC. Holding on. He's using those softs to good effect, like I said he would. He's already got a few places. And we've got the Saint, who's gone backwards, unfortunately, since the start. But we all know he's a very quick guy. I'm sure he will come back through the field. You should never rage quit if you're off to a bad start. Just remember, it's a 14-lap race, and anything can happen, and it probably will. We've got more cars battling down into the Dragon Tooth. No one close enough to really have a go at each other. You need to be really on the back bumper to have a go through here. Carlsberg getting it awfully wide, and I can see his front left tyre is wearing out again. This was a trend that we saw at Spa the other week, and it looks pretty nasty there. He's also chipped the barrier. He's managed to avoid getting any damage on his car that time, so very lucky there, but it'll compromise his speed. I think he's lost about 10 miles an hour with that barrier contact. Let's go up the grid and just see if anyone else is having a fight. They're all a bit more spaced out than previous weeks. Maybe I'm going to get a chance to actually sip my beer through this race. Let's see. So it's Sumi Dan off to a flying start. I was about to say setting the fastest lap, but Rufus has taken it off him. So that will wake him up. Dan will be going, no, you're not having that. He'll have his foot flat to the ground, and let's see how he takes Larini and Dinara, the named after the mountains in the background. So this is Dinara Corner, and those are the mountains. That is Dinara in the background, the tallest mountain in Croatia. And he's conquering the mountains, is Dan, 3.5 tenths up. It's just ease off around that corner. It's very important to hit the left-hand side of that corner. He went a little bit deep there. That's compromised him getting on the accelerator down through the S's. So you do need to be on the far left of that first turn. But let's see how he goes down into the braking zone. Is he just braking at the 100? Yes, he is. That's exactly where you want to be braking. And then it's all about throttle control through here. Not too difficult in a Gr4. And he's lost a couple of tenths on his personal best, but he's still on for a fastest lap there. Let's go back and see what everyone else is doing. So let's just make sure that we're not missing any of the action. And we have got action. We have got I nearly got it wrong again. IQCW4 against Hawkeye. And Hawkeye just being pinched a bit narrow to the barrier there, but he gets a clean exit. Yeah, a couple of miles an hour down on optimum through the chicane there. You want to be aiming for about 122. I think that was about 120, but not a bad effort. Very clean, very tidy. And I see... I've said it again, IQC W4 could be on for a move into turn 1. I bet you're wondering what turn 1 is called, by the way. I've decided to name it the Osman Chicane. Oz, if you're watching, there you go, you got a corner named after you. Yeah, well... after some repeated impressive races that I've watched from Oz around here, I thought it would be fair just to name one of the corners after him. One day I hope to have a corner named after me, but I've just got a chain of moderately priced supermarkets instead. And the gap's now really opening up at the front, so Sumi Dan leads from Rufus, from Smithy, I'm going to call him, Smithy, well, G Smith, and actually, let's just give a shout out, Fazzy's doing a great job in that second Corvette, because he isn't that far off Smith, but he is on the medium tyres. So he's in with a good shout of a podium if he can keep it together tonight. Look at that! Look at that gap. He can literally just see Smith a few car lengths in front, and he's setting very consistent times here. Just 91 hundredths off his personal best. A 49.7 for mediums. Yeah, that's decent. That's decent. So yeah, I think he's got a good shot here. Let's go back down, and oh, I can see. Oh, look at Carlsberg's front left. Oh, that is painful. And we've got a yellow flag. Who's set that yellow flag? Let's just. We didn't see anyone off, so I think it was just someone found a flag on the floor and wanted to wave it, or it could be. I think it's Hoyland. Hoyland's got problems. Hoyland's got problems. He's a lap down as well. Let's just go back and see what happened. It happened a long time ago, so it must have been in the death chicane. Oh, and yes, it was in the death chicane. So let's cue up the music. I can't play Another One Bites the Dust for copyright reasons, so you're just going to have to hum it to yourself. Dum, 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 Another One Bites the Dust. And that was painful. That smashed the engines to pieces, and the car is not okay. Hoyland was already down and out of the running because of that penalty he had to take, but it just gets worse. But keep with it, because you will. Sound was cutting out there. I accidentally sat on the controller. Just watching Saint take a really tight line there through the first part of the death chicane. Nice and tidy exit. And yeah, so that yellow flag was just because of Hoyland and his recovering car. So where were we? We was taking the mickey out of Carlsberg's awful tyre wear and the fact that the grad student probably designed the front left corner of that car, because it's been a recurring theme all season. But another recurring theme is the pit mechanics, who like to play musical statues, just sat there doing absolutely nothing. But let's just watch this pit stop as he comes in. And I kind of want to know, yeah, they didn't put any fuel in, but he has 83 litres. So he must, well, is everyone else on? Yeah, everyone's got a full tank of fuel. So I think there's some magic in the fuel tanks for this race, because the cars aren't actually burning any fuel. In the League 1 race, we used almost a whole tank by this stage, and in fact some of us were even starting to fuel save. So yeah, something happening with the fuel loads there, but that actually makes some of these lap times really impressive then. It will be increasing the tyre wear slightly because the car's heavier, and the lap times won't be ramping up as quickly as you think they would. It's Sumi Dan on a flyer here, personal best. Oh, and that was sweet. That was exactly spot on. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go back and watch that on board, because this is a reference. In fact, we'll do it from the bonnet cam just so that you can see how close he's going to get here. This is a great reference of how to take the death chicane. So just scraping the inside barrier, There was a tiny bit of a lift. And with slightly worn out front tyres, yeah, a lift is more than reasonable. But wow, that was some commitment there, and I think this will be a fastest lap if he just gets this final corner correct, as we watch Rufus following him. And Rufus, actually, look at that front left on Rufus. He's in much better shape than Dan, so Dan's not going to have this all to himself. And Rufus did have the fastest lap last lap. Dan's taken it back off him. And a slightly dodgy lap there from Rufus, but Rufus might have more pace in this car now, because that tyre is looking much better. The yellow flags, I'm being told, is just more problems for Hoyland. Oh, yep, there he is at the side of the road. He's pulled over. I don't know why he's pulled over. Maybe he's gone for a wee or something. I don't know. There he is. Yes, we can see it. We can see him. He's behind the tree over there. He's just having a quick wee, and then he'll get back on with it. And we've had Smith pit, by the way. So he's being fairly quick to get rid of those softs. Oh, and that's his chances gone. He was doing so well, I think. Yeah, he had a real chance there of being on the podium, but not anymore, unfortunately. And that will have obviously really surprised Hoyland as well, who was midstream right there, and suddenly saw a Corvette with a Scottish flag on it, driving straight at him. Carlsberg pitting early as well to get rid of those horrible soft tyres on the front. Let's see if he can make the mediums last longer. Wow, he was taking the track limits right to the limit there, putting the limit in limits. Let's see if we've got any close battles. We have. We've got Hawkeye and I'm going to say it correctly one of these days, Gr4. I can hear lots of screeching, but no banging, so I think they both got through that relatively cleanly. We do have to remember that the cameramen here are also graduates and aren't very good. And oh, I didn't mean to pause it. That was also a graduate who just paused it there. That wasn't me at all. So Saint in 6th place, a recovery drive, and I just need to. And then my sound will stay on. I'll be damned if I'm going to edit that out. Yeah, so the Saint making his way back through the field on the mediums. He's had some very tidy, consistent looking laps here. I take that back, they're not that consistent, but he's staying out of trouble. That's the important thing. So he should be able to get back in the race, because I've seen people have trouble up and down the grid. Yeah, Gr4 is doing a great job on these softs. He's driven them really well, made his way up to 4th place, and I do apologise that I've missed all of the overtakes, because he must have got past Hawkeye at some point. So doing a cracking job here, running sort of mid 150s on average. Hawkeye running up pretty much the same lap times now. Hawkeye is on the medium tyres though, so sorry to say, that doesn't mean Hawkeye's doing a slightly better job. You know, those mediums won't have quite as much grip, but interesting to see that IQ is taking these tyres so deep into this race. I pitted after just 5 laps on my softs, so I must be a tyre destroyer myself. I think I was too early with my pit stop. As we got Fazzy coming into the pits in the sister Corvette, and oh, sorry, I've got the 2 Corvettes mixed up. It was Fazzy, I think, that was on for the podium. Although Smith was there on the fringes of the podium, but he had the soft tyres, didn't he? Whereas Fazzy's on the. So now Fazzy gets the soft tyres, I believe. Let's see, yep, the graphics updated on screen. So he will be in hunting mode now. He is hunting down Itsumi Dan, who is on the medium tyres. And Itsumi Dan will be yelling at his pit crew here, at his race engineer, saying, "Why did you pit me into traffic, man? Why did you pit me in front of, you know, I've got to get past Hawkeye now. Hawkeye's not pitted yet." And he's got IQ in front of him as well. Rufus, meanwhile, is not falling for that, and he stayed out. The only thing is, Rufus's tyres will be past their best now, and I think lap time wise, these won't be able to compete with the mediums at this stage. Let's have a look at his delta as he comes round, and yes, +1 second. Well, it's roughly +1.2 for the medium tyres, so those will be slower. So if he keeps out for much longer, then he's definitely going to let himself get undercut by Dan. But maybe he's playing the smart game here, because Dan's now got to navigate past Hawkeye and IQ. So he's not having it all his own way, Dan, tonight. He has got a bit of overtaking to do. Maybe Hawkeye will get out of the way with the pit stops. We'll see. Rufus, I've just noticed, has stayed out another lap. I can see that on the map at the top right. And Carlsberg really close to that barrier there. That was again some commitment. Oh, beautiful there. Yeah, that car making a lovely noise as well. The RCF really like it. Smith on his recovery drive. He'll have his he'll have his head down, and I'm sure he can bring it back. I mean, he's already 7th, and the only way is up, right? I mean, I can see Hawkeye pitting, so he might come out in front of Hawkeye. The pit stops, obviously, if they're not having to refuel, will be much quicker, and yeah, that's just caught me out. Hawkeye getting out easily in front of Smith, but behind Carlsberg. So now we've got another interesting battle looming here, though, because we've got Hawkeye on Carlsberg, and Carlsberg is on the mediums and Hawkeye on the soft. So we'll keep an eye on that as we go on. Is Fazzy hunting down Itsumi Dan? That's the question. So Dan definitely doesn't have this race in the bag just yet. We need to see what kind of lap times Fazzy can pull. And taking the inside there into the S's, that is exactly the line you want to be taking. Yep, good speed as we come into the downhill into the Dragon's Tooth, and braking at the 100 board, I think. Hard to tell from that camera. Oh, he's gone a bit wide though, a tiny bit wide. That's going to compromise his exit ever so slightly. Let's see what his lap time delta is. It is compared to the soft tyre, to the medium tyres. We'd hope to be seeing -1 second there, not -0.3. Taking the chicane a lot faster that time round. That was 122. That is exactly what you want to be taking it at. Rufus finally pits, and obviously Dan has been released by Hawkeye pitting on that previous lap, and now he's got to size up I was about to say our race leader. Is he our race leader? He is. We've got a new leader of the race from last to first. We have got IQ CW4. Now he does have to awfully second hand. Someone needs to tell him that you know, if you hand the tyres back in the pits, you do still get to keep them. They're not. You know, you are allowed to go home with the tyres after the race. Maybe he's just driving around because he really likes them. And no match here for Dan. Dan with those medium tyres, but they're fresh. Shouldn't really have much of a trouble here. Oh, he's holding back. He's holding back. He's waiting his moment. Let's just keep an eye on this. Can he keep a tighter line? Can I get the words out of my mouth? It's not often that I'm lost for words, is it? He's just a bit too far back, I think, to really have a go down into Dragon's Tooth. Yeah, he's just not near enough. Closing up under braking, and he'll get a better exit for sure on those medium tyres. But this is a really risky place to try and overtake, and personally I don't like being that close to people through here either, because if the car in front makes a mistake, yeah, look at that, he's reacting. Great driving instincts there. So Dan didn't take that anywhere near as fast as he has been on previous laps, because he was just anticipating that IQC might be braking a little bit harder than he's expecting, and then he timed his run and got past him. Great driving there. And now so IQC actually staying out even longer. We've got Rufus, who's got Dan in sight, so he has managed to keep the gap to just say that's about 2 seconds, maybe, something like that. We don't have timing on these races, unfortunately. And then Fazzy, so Fazzy's 148.7. He's not far off the fastest lap with that, and a 148.9 the lap before. So. He does have a chance here of honing in on Rufus, and let's see what lap times Dan's been doing to 149.1 is flying on those mediums. Actually, that is a remarkable lap time. So although Fazzy's gaining, he might not be gaining enough, just 4/10, and he's definitely a lot further back, and we've only got 3 really flown. We've got Hawkeye, who has actually got past Smith, and I'm just going to pause it there, and we'll go back and we'll just see. He must have got past him a while ago, though. Oh gosh, yes, I'm having to go all the way back around. So let's just watch it, though. Okay. The Carlsberg hit the barrier, so let's just watch that and have a good laugh at him. So what did Carlsberg do? So get your popcorn ready. Oh, way wide. That car just didn't want to turn. That car just did not want to turn, did it? That was a weird one. Oh, and then, yeah, so Hawkeye had got past Smith much more before that. Yeah, we'll not go back that far because we're like literally 4 laps back. So unfortunately I have missed that one. In fact, we need to go all the way back to here. So, can IQ hold off Rufus? That's a question. Well, actually he needs to pit on this lap. So the team radio is frantically lighting up on IQ's car right now, just saying pit, pit, pit. They're holding the flag out of the window in big capital letters. You know, and yeah, let's hope that he pits this lap, otherwise he's going to pick up a 1-minute penalty for failing to make a pit stop. The rules are you've got to do at least 2 laps on the medium tyres. I've got to admit, he's done very well to hold those tyres together for so long. And is it the fastest way around this race? I don't think so. Those fresh mediums will have been slightly faster. But let's see what else is happening up and down the grid. So we've got Rufus bringing up 3rd place. I think he's going to have a bit of a game to catch Dan, to be honest. But he's having a great race, on for a net 2nd place once all the pit stops are sorted out. So Rufus really, really enjoying Dragon Trail a lot more than Spa. I just realised also we haven't got Ninky this week in the other Porsche, so hopefully we'll see him again next week. Or actually not next week, we've got a bit of a break for Christmas, but when we resume after the new year. Oh, Fazzy just slightly in the barrier there. He is gaining on these 2 cars in front, and he should have the podium, obviously once IQ pits. Or gets a penalty, whichever happens. He's guaranteed 3rd place. It's whether he can catch up to Rufus, and I think he's just a little bit far back, but you never know, he could have 2 flying laps, so let's find out. That was a bit slow. Yeah, a bit of an off lap. We haven't seen any penalties so far this race, so big round of applause to these guys for avoiding penalties. This is a track where you can't really get a penalty, because I don't know if you've noticed, but the curbs are serrated. They're really not nice curbs at all. And Rufus makes his way through on IQ there. Sort of an easy move. And actually, yeah, well, news alert. So we are going to have to apply a penalty to IQ for failing to make a pit stop. It is now the penultimate lap. The pits are closed. You cannot make your pit stop. Well, you can, but you won't have enough laps on the tyres for it to count. You have to do 2 full rotations of the circuit. So, unfortunately, that is going to demote him. And by a whole minute, I would say that might actually be down to 9th. He might just squeeze 8th. We've just going to go down the grid and just see if there's any battles happening. We've got Smith keeping up with Hawkeye, but Hawkeye is on the soft tyres. And Fazzy's the one that I've been trying to watch. Oh, Fazzy's run has just ended, unfortunately. Commentator's curse. I'm so sorry to have cursed you there. Yes, that is unlucky, because I don't think he'll be catching Rufus on the final lap now. Let's go back to a few of the others and see. So Saint has made his way back to 7th, just proving never give up. Never give up, never give in. Carlsberg, well, recovering after headbutting the barriers in dramatic fashion. It's a good job that these are virtual cars and not real ones, because that would be a short wheelbase Lexus, given the severity of that impact. Let's go back up to our race leader and watch him as he navigates the final lap. So let's just see a bit of the Dan magic through the S's. Let's see what he's got. He might not be pushing that hard. Let's see. So So he's just easing off the brakes, feeding it into that first apex, and then it allows him to get on full power all the way down these sweeping S-bends, and very nicely done. Let's see him braking into Dragon's Tooth as well. Should be braking just around the 100 board. He does. Down into second gear. Is he going to short shift it into third? No, he's going to keep it in second. Each to their own, different ways of doing that. The important thing is nice and smooth on the power. And we've got Rufus bringing up second place. Fazzy will be wondering if he's got third place. He has. So just relax now. I can see that the gap back to Hawkeye is massive. Look at the map. Hawkeye just coming out of Dragon's Tooth now. So the length of the back straight separating Dan from Hawkeye, with Mr. Smith back in 6th place, just a couple of car lengths behind. I heard some screeching, but Hawkeye has managed to make it through. We'll cross over to watch Itsumi Dan flashing to his pit crew for a job well done, with Rufus in 2nd place. IQ is 3rd on track, but gets demoted straight away, with Fazzy bringing up the podium. So a debut podium for Fazzy. Let's see what he's going to do in the next race in the faster machinery, with Dan in 1st place, Rufus 2nd, and then obviously I've got to take one off everyone here. So Hawkeye having a season best result of 4th place, and Smith is 5th. That's a good saying, isn't it? Not if you're him. I guess he wants Smith is 1st, doesn't he? But Smith is 5th on his debut. Saint in 6th, Carlsberg in 7th, and then let's just see if does Frank even know that IQ has got that penalty? Well, he pushed anyway, and that does take IQ just down into 9th place. And Hoyland is actually 3 laps down, but you've got to give him a round of applause for not quitting and not rage quitting. He's just having to put the laps in, because it means he's going to get pole position for the 2nd race, which I'm going to bring to you shortly. I've been your host, Panic at the Tesco. Remember to like and subscribe. It costs you nothing, and it means everything to me. And I will be uploading the next video shortly. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and good night.